So we're here going to start the tally for the October 13th Prop 218 election. We're going to be projecting the results on the tally and summary spreadsheet, and we're going to be stating whether a vote is yes or no, and the actual weighted average of each ballot voted. A ballot that is completed properly but with no vote will be labeled as a no vote. A ballot that has no signature, even with a vote, will be labeled as not cast. So I'm going to begin each project by opening the envelopes and removing the ballots, and the tally and summary page will be marked as each ballot is tallied. We're actually going to start by opening the ballots for project 5105, Council File 200900 S38. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to begin. Okay, so we're going to begin with project 5159, Council File 200900S35, Thurman Avenue and Washington Boulevard. APN 5064023018, Montgomery Burns Industries LLC. The vote is yes, in the amount of 125.78. APN 5064023016, Montgomery Burns Industries. The vote is yes, for the amount of $125.78. APN 5064023017, Montgomery Burns Industries. The vote is yes, for the amount of $125.78. Okay, so this concludes the tabulation for project 5159. The unofficial result is passing. Okay, Hi, we're back. We sincerely apologize. We're having technical difficulties, so please bear with us as we log back in and get everything ready to continue with the tally. We're going to be opening up those tally and summary spreadsheets again for each of these projects, so just please bear with us. Thank you for your patience. Do I just do one by one? 5149. Okay, so again, thank you for your patience. We're going to start with project 5149, Council File 200900S36, Olympic Boulevard and Butler Avenue, number 1. APN 4260004047, 1 Butler LLC. The vote is yes for the amount of $1,953.42. APN 4260004046, Faith Tabernacle of West Los Angeles. The vote is yes for the amount of $616.87. So this concludes the tally for project 5149, and the unofficial result is passing. Project 5148, Council File 200900S37, La Cienega Boulevard and Centinela Avenue. APN 4103002004, Jason S. and Sun Bu. The vote is no for the amount of $142.20. $140.20, excuse me. Okay, this concludes the tally for project 5148, and the unofficial result is fail. All right. Beginning now with project 5105, Council File 200900S38, Elysian Valley Lighting Improvement Phase 7. To confirm, these were the ballots that were run through the letter opener, considering that there were so many. Okay, so APN 5445009-026, Guadalupe Lujan, and the vote is no for the amount of $62.89. And that APN all right, APN 54450250018, Norma Cesena and Rito Reyes. The vote is yes for the amount of $92.24. APN 54450111034. Ponce Crisologo Trust. The vote is yes for the amount of $109. APN 54450090025. Guadalupe A. Lujan. And the vote is no for the amount of $5.24. APN 54450090014. Incher Bramlett. The vote is yes for the amount of $119.91. APN 54450100020. Marie P. Mesa Trust. The vote is no for the amount of $83.85. APN 54450240029. Chao Lai Gong and Xing Rong Lu. The vote is no for the amount of $119.91. APN 54450240016. Sarah Linebrook. Vote is yes for the amount of $83.85. APN 54450090022. Sway Him and Fon Sing Jin Trust. The vote is no for the amount of $81.75. APN 54450111032. Glendale Campomanes. The vote is yes for the amount of $83.85. APN 54450100006. PNB Duval Properties. The vote is yes for the amount of $117.39. APN 54450100005. Mila LLC. And the vote is no for the amount of $109. APN 54450250019. King and Helen Pang Family Trust. Vote is no for the amount of $92.24. APN 54450120046. Luis A. and Estela L. Vela. And the vote is no for the amount of $62.89. APN 54450120012. Luis A. and Estela L. Vela. The vote is no for the amount of $5.24. APN, one more time. I'll repeat that last one. APN 5445-012-012. Luis A. and Estela L. Vela. And the vote is no for the amount of $5.24. Okay, and APN 5445-023-001, Michael Chapa. The vote is no for the amount of $119.91. APN 5445-012-014, Nicole E. Kari and Jacob H. Soberoff. The vote is yes for the amount of $83.85. APN 5445-009-016, Teddy and Priscilla Aralar. Vote is no for the amount of $117.39. APN 5445-024-025, Christina H. Fung. The vote is yes for the amount of $83.85. APN 5445-010-017, Gina L. Della O. And the vote is yes for the amount of $117.39. APN 5445-011-035, Mu Chao C2 and Sally Yu. This vote has a signature but is not marked, either yes or no. APN 5445-009-017, Jeannie Lynn D. Kwong and Timothy Olszewski. The vote is yes for the amount of $83.85. APN 5445-009-015, Jose G. Martinez Trust. The vote is no for the amount of $109. APN 5445-011-010, Lena R. Chua Trust. Vote is yes for the amount of $83.85. APN 5445-024-014, Eddie and Cynthia C. Lee Trust. And the vote is no for the amount of $129.13. APN 5445-009-013, Armando Cimental Trust. Vote is yes for the amount of $62.89. APN 5445-011-005, Augustine and Maria Anda. The vote is yes for the amount of $83.85. APN 5445-010-004, Rolando D. and Luz O. Maniego. Vote is yes for the amount of $83.85. APN 5445-008-029, Noble B. Lee Co-Trust. And the vote is no for $62.89. APN 5445 010-012, Francisco and Corazon Artizada. Vote is yes for the amount of $83.85. APN 5445024. Augustine and Maria Anda. The vote is yes for the amount of $83.85. APN 5445. I'm going to read that last one more time. APN 5445024. Augustine and Maria Anda. And the vote is yes for the amount of $83.85. Okay. All right. And so APN 5445026-007, Henry and Frances Kim Trust. Vote is no for the amount of $92.24. All right. APN 5445010-001, Jose R. and Marta Pacheco Trust. And the vote is no for the amount of $69.18. All right, APN 5445024-020, David T. and Gloria M. Galaz. The vote is yes for the amount of $83.85. APN 5445012-017, Miriam Nova. The vote is yes for the amount of $138.35. APN 5445011-025, Eric K. Howard. This ballot does have a vote but is not signed. APN 5445011-029, Felix S. and Evelyn Zoom. Vote is no for the amount of $83.85. I'm going to repeat that last one. So APN 5445011-029, Felix S. and Evelyn Zoom. And the vote is no for the amount of $83.85. APN 5445009-024, Walter and Sonia B. Umagwing. The vote is no. I'm going to have that APN one more time. 5445009-024, Walter and Sonia B. Umagwing. And the vote is no for the amount of $83.85. All right. APN 5445008-006, Oscar Navarro and Blanca Martinez Navarro. The vote is yes for the amount of $62.89. APN 5445009004, Dagoberto and Elsa N. Rodriguez, and the vote is no for the amount of $62.89. APN 5445009003, Sylvia Cotto and Humberto Lopez, and the vote is yes for the amount of $92.24. APN 5445011036, Josefina D. Espinoza, and the vote is yes for the amount of $109. APN 5445. You know what? Just to confirm that the last one was recorded, APN 5445011036, Josefina D. Espinoza. That was a vote yes for the amount of $109. Okay, APN 5445024026, Sang Tran and Helen Ho. And the vote is yes for the amount of $83.85. APN 5445011008, Nicholas and Rosa Alvarado Trust. And the vote is yes for the amount of $109. APN 5445008011, Dario Martinez and Cinti Cadena. The vote is yes for the amount of $117.39. APN 5445011031, Noroberos Miller Co. Trust. The vote is yes for the amount of $117.39. APN 5445008003, Oscar A. and Kathy M. Hernandez. And the vote is yes for the amount of $109. APN 5445011037, Sue Suhu. And the vote is no for the amount of $109. APN 5445011013, Juanita Hernandez. And the vote is yes for the amount of $83.85. APN 5445024017, David A. Martinez. And the vote is no for the amount of $83.85. And APN 5445009002, Antonio and Teresa Acevedo. And the vote is yes for the amount of $83.85. So this concludes the tally for Project 5105, and the unofficial result is passing. Project number 5169, Council File 200900 S39, Zelza Avenue and Plummer Street, number 1. APN 27640169113, State of California, Cal State University, Northridge. And the vote is yes for the amount of $8,224.92. This concludes the tally for Project 5169, and the unofficial result is passing. Project number 5155, Council File 200900 S40, Centinela Avenue and Alvern Street. And there are no ballots received for this project. So this concludes the tally for Project 5155, and the unofficial result is passing. Project 5162, Council File 200900 S41, Cobalt Street and San Fernando Road, number 1. And there were no ballots received for this project. So this concludes the tally for Project 5162, and the unofficial result is passing. So the tally has been completed for the October 13th election. After review and approval, the official results will be certified, and further information will be relayed at the November 3rd council hearing. You can reach the election division at 213-978-0444 with any questions you may have regarding this tally. Thank you.